Welcome to Ridgewood High School. We are so excited to be here. I don't know if you can feel the energy coming off the performers, but we are so excited to be performing for you. We will be performing this show called All Together Now, which is actually sort of a gift to us from Musical Theater International. Musical Theater International is one of the two bodies that licenses musicals and plays for people to do. So if you want to put on a musical, you actually have to get licensed from MTI or from Concordia Theatricals, and then you pay them money for the right to put on the show, and then you pay them more money to rent the scripts and to build your own costumes and all those things. Usually just the rights and the music will come to about $3,000 for a show, and then we usually somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000 for costumes and set building and props and all those kinds of things. So this is sort of a gift from MTI. They know that theaters were struggling and that performers were struggling, wishing that they could just get back out there on stage after the year that we've had with the COVID-19 pandemic. So they've offered this weekend, and only this weekend, this musical review of lots of songs from a number of their shows to perform for free. So we are one of 2,500 theaters all across the world in 40 different states and in 50 different countries all around the world that are putting on this exact same show this weekend. In fact, in Coshocton earlier today, the Rogue Elephant Productions at Clary Gardens put on this exact same show. So basically MTI said, here are 3 different songs for each song slot. You can choose one and you can perform it. You can put in costumes, you can put in choreography, you can use microphones, you can use lighting, whatever you want to do. It's yours for free as a fundraiser for your theater to try to get people back in the seats watching and get people back on stage performing. So we are very excited to be performing for you this afternoon. The first song is actually from a musical that we have done here at Ridgewood just a few years ago. We will be singing Seize the Day from the musical Newsies. It's going to feature a number of our high school students, from freshmen all the way through seniors. Some of these students were in the production when we did it 3 years ago, and some of them were not, but they really wanted to be in it, so they're going to be singing for you. So we're going to be featuring Taya Hawkins and Keely Carter at the beginning on the solos of Davy and Jack. This is some of Ridgewood High School students singing Seize the Day from the musical Newsies.
By minute, that's how you win it. We will find a way, but let us seize the day.
orphan Annie has been living in an orphanage almost her entire life. She was dropped off there by her parents, who left her a lovely note that said they would return for her one day, and they were leaving her half of a silver locket that she should keep on her at all times, and when they came back, they would bring the other half so she would know that she was their baby. In this song, Annie is struggling with whether or not that's really going to happen. She's run away from the orphanage. This is before she's been taken off to the mansion of Daddy Warbucks. And in the middle, she actually meets her dog, Sandy. We don't quite do that part because we thought involving a dog this afternoon was a little much. So this is going to be 8th grader Emily Maple singing that sort of ultimate song of hope from the musical theater world, Tomorrow, from the musical Annie.
Please take care of our little darling. Her name is Amy. She was born on October 28th. We will be back to get her soon. We left half of the silver locket around her neck and kept the other half, so when we go back to get her, we'll know that she's her baby. When I'm stuck with the day, it's gray and lonely. I just pick up my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun's on out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're always a day away. Tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're always a day away.
One of the reasons that musical theater connects with us so much, I think, is because it usually speaks to sort of universal themes in our lives. So tomorrow, the theme of hope and optimism, that tomorrow might be a better day. In Matchmaker, the idea that siblings sometimes don't get along. So this is a trio of 3 sisters who at this point in their lives are dreaming of the matches that they will get. At this point in history, the women did not get to choose their own husbands. It was chosen for you by your father and the town matchmaker. So the 2 younger sisters, Hodel and Hava, are dreaming about the handsome men that they are sure they're going to get matched with. While their older sister, Zeidel, who has already been through this process, she's in love with her childhood best friend, but has been set up by her dad to marry the very old butcher in town. So she's not too pleased about that. And so she's warning these other 2 girls that things might not work out the way they think they're going to. And then by the end, all 3 girls are thinking, oh gosh, what could I be getting myself into? So a little sibling fighting for you this afternoon. We're going to be featuring junior Aaliyah Beitzel, junior Brenna Hoffman, and senior Taya Hawkins singing Matchmaker from the musical Fiddler on the Roof.
Zeidel, you're the oldest. Yenta has to arrange a match for you before she can make one for me.
Oh, Yenta.
Well, somebody has to make the matches. Young people can't decide these things for themselves.
She might bring someone wonderful
Someone interesting
and well off.
and important. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Matchmaker, matchmaker, look through your book and make me a perfect match.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, I'll bring the best.
a rabbi and he only has one son, so why shouldn't I want the best?
Because you're a poor girl from a poor family, so whatever you get to bring, I'll take it, right? Of course, right. Huddle, oh Huddle, have I made a match for you? He's handsome, he's young. Alright, he's 62, but he's a nice man, a good catch, true? True, I promise you'll be happy, and even if you're not, there's more to life than that. Don't ask me what. Papa, I found him. Will you be a lucky bride? He's handsome, he's tall, that is from side to side. But he's a nice man, a good catch, right? Right. You heard he has a temper, he'll beat you every night, but only when he's sober. So you're alright. Did you think you'd get a prince? Well, I do the best I can. With no dowry, no money, no family background. Be glad you've got a man.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, you know that I'm still very young. Please take your time.
Up to this minute I misunderstood
That I could get stuck for good. Dear Yenta, see that he's gentle, remember you were also right. It's not that I'm sentimental, it's just that I'm terrified. Matchmaker, matchmaker, let me know plans. I'm in no rush, maybe I've learned playing with matches a girl can get burned. So bring me no ring, groom me no groom, find me no find, catch me no catch, unless he's a matchless man.
The next piece is a musical called Ragtime, and the song is called Back to Before. Another sort of persistent theme in a lot of musical theater is that theme of change and things moving on and being different than they were before. In this musical, it takes place at the turn of the century in America, so the 1800s into the 1900s, when America was going through sort of a new rebirth. We were looking at immigrant families coming in, we were looking at the rights of African Americans, the suffragette movement is coming up, and there's an upper white class family whose names are just mother, father, brother, and little brother, who are sort of the main characters of the story. At the beginning of this musical, father is a captain on a ship. He goes off on big adventures and leaves his family behind. Mother holds down the household, and he has gone off on one of his trips, and mother, oh, mother, that was right on cue, good job. In musical theater? So mother, while father is gone, ends up actually taking in an African-American woman who has had a baby out of wedlock and is sort of helping her get through this. She has befriended the immigrant family, so when father comes home, his life at home has suddenly changed very much, and he is very taken aback by all of the things that have changed in his absence, and he yells at the family and at all the people who were at his dinner table, who he didn't know before he left, and says that they all have to get out of his house, and tells mother that things are going to go back to the way they were. And she stands up to him and says, things are changing, and they can't go back to before, and I love you very, very much, but you can either move forward with me or move forward without me. So this is her song convincing him that things can never go back to the way they were before. Featuring me. I told the kids a little bit, I'm a little nervous. It's been a long time since I sang, so I'm excited to be performing for you, but it's been a long time. There was a time our happiness seemed never ending. I was so sure that where we were heading was right. Back in the days when I let you make all my choices, we can never go back to before. There was a time when you were the person in motion. You sailed away while I turned my back to the sea. I was content, a princess asleep and enchanted. If I had dreams, then I let you dream them for me. Back in the days when everything seemed so much clearer, women in white who knew what their lives had in store. Where are they now, those women who stare from a mirror? We can never go back to before. There are people out there unafraid of revealing that they might have a feeling, or they might have been wrong. There are people out there unafraid to feel sorrow, unafraid of tomorrow, unafraid to be weak, unafraid to be strong. There was a time when you were the person in motion. I was your wife, it never occurred to want more. You were my sky, my moon, and my stars, and my ocean. We can never go back to before. We can never go back to Next for us is going to be Kendall Stalker, who's a junior. She's singing a song called Gimme Gimme from the musical Thoroughly Modern Millie. Thoroughly Modern Millie is set in the 1920s, so the age of Flappers and The Great Gatsby. And Millie has gone off to the big city from her small town, and she wants to go to New York and be a star. She wants to be a dancer. She wants to be on stage. And she happens, as is the case in much musical theater, to be falling in love at the same time. So she's choosing between two young gentlemen. One of them she thinks is a very poor young man, but she thinks might be true love. This might be it. This might be the love that she's been looking for her whole life. And the other man is very wealthy and very well-to-do and very kind and could definitely provide her with the life that she's been wanting. So she has to decide here between being a socialite and having a lot of money or taking a risk on that true love. This is Kendall Stalker singing Gimme Gimme from the musical Thoroughly Modern Millie.
thing called love. I need it. Highs and lows, tears and laughter. Give me happy ever after. Give me that thing called love. Give me that thing called love. I crave it. Give me that thing called love. I'll brave it. Thick and thin, rich, her poor times. Give me years and all one more time. Give me that thing called love. Give me that thing called love. I'm free now. Give me that thing called love. I'll see now fly dove, sing sparrow. Give me Cupid's famous arrow. Give me that thing called love. I don't care if he's a nobody. In my heart, he'll be a somebody, somebody to love me. I need it. Give me that thing called love. I want it. Here I am, St. Valentine. My bags are packed. I'm first in line. Aphrodite, don't forget me. Romeo and Juliet, they fly. Dove, sing sparrow. Give me fat boy's famous arrow. Give me that thing
Our next piece is probably not one that you've heard before. It's from a song cycle called Songs for a New World, and this song is called The New World. Jason Robert Brown, who wrote the musical, might be familiar to you in The Last 5 Years, which is a movie that came out a couple years ago starring Anna Kendrick. He's written a lot of musicals. He's known for his very wordy musicals that have lots and lots of words in them that really connect kind of with modern life and with how things change and how things grow. So it's another song about growth and about change. This song is going to feature some of our guest alumni. So we're going to be featuring Zaid Atkins, who graduated last year. Let me get their years right. Hope Asbury, who graduated in 2019, and Kyla Gear, who graduated in 2018. We had hoped to have Indy Rose, if that name is familiar with you. She was going to sing the fourth part in this quartet, but she is such a diligent worker that they couldn't get someone to cover her shifts for her. So I will be singing the fourth man one part for her. But it's been such a joy. It's always hard when you want somebody to be able to perform, but it's actually been a great joy for me to sing with them as adults. We had a practice a couple weeks ago, and then afterwards we just kind of hung out in the music room and talked for like an hour and a half, because it's just fun to be together again and to be performing on stage. The New World talks a little bit about how sometimes you think you know exactly where your life is going, and then life throws you a curveball and it kind of goes in the opposite direction, but finding that joy in the changes, finding that joy in the new world that is emerging for you.
about one moment. The moment you think you know where you stand. That one moment. The things that you're sure of slip from your hand. You've got 1 second. And just when you're on the verge of success, the sky starts to change. And the wind starts to blow. And oh, you're suddenly a stranger. There's no explaining where you stand. And you didn't know that you sometimes have to go around an unexpected bend. And the road will end in a new world.
It's about one moment. That moment you think you know where you stand. That one moment. The things that you're sure have slipped from your hand. You've got 1 second to try to be clear, to try to stand tall, but nothing's the same. And the wind starts to blow. And oh, you're suddenly a stranger in some completely different land. You thought you knew, but you didn't have a clue that the surface sometimes cracks to reveal the tracks to a new world. Got a job on the coast.
Find a lover you're sure you believe in.
You got pulled in the back.
Your head.
But then the earthquake hits.
And the bank closes in, and you realize you didn't know anything. Nobody told you the best way to steer when the wind starts to blow.
Suddenly a stranger.
All of a sudden,
Your life is different than you planned. And you have to stay till you somehow find a way
to be sure of what will be, then you might be free.
Crashes down like thunder. A new world charging through the air.
A new world just beyond the mountain, waiting there, waiting there. A new world shattering the silence. There's a new world I'm afraid to see. A new world louder every moment. Come to me, come to me. Our next song will feature senior Julia Grimmett singing I Dreamed a Dream from the musical Les Miserables. At this point in the musical, Fantine, who Julia will be playing, has had just about the worst luck a person can have. She's had a child, and she sent the child off to be cared for. The people who are caring for her are lying to her and telling her that the child needs medicine when she really doesn't. So she's having to send lots of money to help support this girl that she doesn't even get to see. She's shaved her head and sold her hair off for money.
And at this point, she has turned to selling her body. She's been abused. And at this point in the musical, she has reached the lowest that she can be. She's dreaming of a different life. She's dreaming of the life she thought she might have, and the dream has now been taken away from her. This is Julia Grimmett singing I Dreamed a Dream from the musical Les Miserables.
There was a time men were kind, and their voices were soft, and the words were inviting. There was a time when love was blind, and the world was a song, and the song was exciting. There was a time, and it all went wrong. I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. When I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted, there was no ransom to be paid, no song sung, no wine tasted. But the tigers at night, with their voices soft as thunder, as they tear your home apart, as they turn your dream to shame. He slept a summer by my side. He filled my days with endless wonder. He took my childhood in his stride, but he was gone when autumn came. But still I dream he'll come to me, and we will live the years together. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from the cell I'm living, so different now than what it seems. Now life is just a dream I
Walked over. Our next song is from a musical called Matilda. So some of you may be familiar with the movie that came out in the late 90s. So Matilda is a very precocious little girl. She's extremely bright, and she goes to a pretty awful school run by the evil Mrs. Trunchbull. So Mrs. Trunchbull is very unkind. She is not kind to these children at all. And Matilda actually sort of foments the children into a revolt towards the end of the show. This song is kind of a turning point for the students and for Matilda, deciding that when something is wrong, you have to stand up for it. If something's not right, then you have to fight for it. You will also hear Miss Brenna Hoffman, who's a junior, who will be singing the part of Miss Honey, her teacher, who is also kind of coming to the decision that maybe she needs to help stand up for her students as well. We will be featuring 3 fifth graders along with us. I want to make sure that I get their names right. We have Grady Allen and Olivia Harding and Audrey Tubbs. And Audrey will be singing the part of Matilda at the end of the show as well. We're really excited to be featuring some of our young performers too. We like to call them sort of our future performing arts stars. I know some of the students on stage in our high school program have started very young as students in The Sound of Music, or started very young in the programs like the ones Mrs. Folkert is putting on right now. So the idea of extending that theater arts across many, many ages, we have these kids will be the class of 2029, and later we're going to be featuring Sam Green, the class of 2003. So we have a wide range of outstanding Ridgewood Performing Arts students. Are we ready, Mike? All right, got a thumbs up from Leah Beitzel. This song is called When I Grow Up, and in the true fashion of children playing, they are sort of imagining what it will be like to be an adult someday. That you can eat candy all the time, that you can get up and go to sleep whenever you want. If you decide to lay out in the sun, you won't burn because you're all grown up. Well, you can eat candy on the way to work, so it kind of features the kids being kids. We're going to feature our 5th graders, and then an 8th grade ensemble, and then an ensemble of high school students. This is When I Grow Up from the musical Matilda.
When I grow up,
actually from a musical called Come From Away that we have taken a group of Ridgewood students to go see, and that we will be taking another group of Ridgewood students to go see in January. Come From Away is about a small town in Newfoundland that used to be a stop when planes would fly from America over to Europe. They would always have to stop there to refuel their planes. But with the new technology and new planes, the town kind of went down and the planes didn't have to stop there anymore until September 11th, 2001. When suddenly there were lots of planes that were already in the air coming over from Europe, but couldn't come into American airspace and needed to be diverted somewhere. And all of them got diverted to this little tiny, tiny town in the middle of Newfoundland, whose population went up by thousands and thousands and thousands of people overnight. And suddenly this community, it's a true story, had to come together to find places for all of these people to sleep, for all of them to eat, for them to be able to call their families, some of them who had family in New York City, and that included a lot of people who spoke different languages, people from different countries, people from different cultures. It's an amazing, incredible story. If you have a chance to go see it, it will be in the Columbus Broadway series in January, and I would encourage everybody to go see it. It's an amazing show. One of the true stories that comes out of that is a romance of a real-life couple who got married because of this experience. The man is from England and the woman is from Texas, and they ended up sitting next to each other on the plane and then sort of bonded over the experience. And this song is called Stop the World. So in it, they have realized that their time together here in Newfoundland is coming to an end. They've announced that they were going to be able to get people back on the planes and send them back home, him to England and her back to Texas again. And they're realizing that they want that moment to stop. And they later got back together and they actually got married. So it's a true story. It's a wonderful story to come out of, a horrific thing. And it will be sung for you by a romance that came out of Ridgewood Performing Arts. So we always laugh with them that we were rooting for them as a couple from the time they were in about the 8th and 9th grade. We wanted them to be together. This is going to feature Bladen McCoy and Hope Asbury singing Stop the World from Come From Away.
Stop the world, take a picture, try to capture, to ensure this moment lasts. We're still in it, but a minute, that's the limit, and this present will be past. So here we are, where the world has come together, and here she'll be in this picture forever.
Look at this. 540 million years ago, the continents of the world crashed together right here. And 200 million years ago, they separated again, moving apart from each other. But a little part of them was left behind. Oh, I should move. You're missing all the scenery.
No, stay where you are.
Really?
Really, it's perfect.
Stop the world, seize the moment, but the minute he goes, you're alone. Pinch yourself, tell yourself, you're just dreaming, that means he'll forget about you. But here we are, where the continents once crashed together, before they went their separate ways forever. So stop the world,
Stop the world,
stop the world,
stop the world.
stop the world from spinning round.
I'm out on the bell,
Overlooking something worth taking the time. Stop flying by and look down. Stop being scared and look round. Just tell him now and look round. Take a picture of the scenery, of a lookout, of a moment which is over, of the ocean, of the river, of the trees.
Stop the world, please.
Our next piece of music is from a musical that you may not have heard of, but a book that you probably have. This is from Little Women, the musical. In it, Jo and her many sisters have really formed an unbreakable sibling bond together. In this song, their childhood best friend Lori, who has been running around with Jo since they were little kids, has just proposed to her and declared his love. And she is struggling with the fact that that is not how things were supposed to go. They're supposed to be best friends. They're supposed to go out and change the world together. And now he's ruined it all by saying, marry me? That's not the way their adventure is supposed to go. She's supposed to go out and do great things somewhere in the world with him at her side, but not like that. So he wants her to get married and stay home with him and kind of be the wife. And she's just discovering through the course of this song that she actually wants to go out there and figure out if she can really be something astonishing and change the world. It will be sung for you by Junior Keeley Carter. This is Astonishing from the musical Little Women.
Who's he with his marry me, with his ring, his marry me, the nerve to go. This is not what was meant to be. How could he ruin it all with those 2 words? I thought I knew him, thought that he knew me. When did it change? What did I miss? A kiss when I thought all along that we were meant to flirt frontiers. How could I be so wrong? And I need my sisters here if I can't share my dreams, or were they for? I thought our promise meant that we would never change and never apart. I thought together we amaze the world. How can I live my dreams or even start when everything has come apart? I thought home was all I'd ever want, my attic all I'd ever need. Now nothing feels the way it was before, and I don't know how to proceed. I only know I meant for something more. I've got to know if I can be astonishing. There's a life that I am meant to lead, a life like nothing I have known. I can feel it, and it's far from here. I've got to find it on my own. Even though I feel its heat upon me,
switching songs through here. So Hope was featured in Beauty and the Beast as our Belle, and also as Catherine in Newsies. Zayd, you might have recognized maybe you recognized him with all the green face paint last year. He was our Shrek and has been an outstanding chorus member in a number of our musicals. In Newsies, he played the wonderful and indomitable Teddy Roosevelt at the end with his big red mustache on. Kyla was an amazing Mrs. Potts and an equally amazing Mother Abbess. Sam Scott, who will be singing next for you this afternoon, you might have recognized, and I did get his graduation year wrong. He said, "What are you doing, miss? I was just trying to make me older than I am." He graduated in 2013, which makes sense because I knew he'd done 3 shows with us. He was a hilarious Horace Van de Gelder, an amazing Elvis in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, or Pharaoh, however you want to look at it, and as the Mayor Shin in the musical The Music Man. He's going to be singing for you a song called "Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat" from Guys and Dolls. At this point in the show, all of the gamblers have been kind of tricked, basically, into going to a Salvation Army meeting. And they tell them that they have to give some testimony. And Nicely Johnson, who's kind of one of the head con men, one of the head gangsters, gets sort of voluntold that he is going to be the one who's going to tell this story. Luckily for them, Nicely is very good at making up stories, so he is making up a story here of a dream he had about being on a boat. So this is Sam Scott singing "Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat" from the musical Guys and Dolls.
I dreamed last night I was on the boat to heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and as I stood and I heard someone fade me, but the passengers, they knew right from wrong, for the people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. The people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. For the devil will pull you under, by the shock of the pound, you chuck and coat. Sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. I sailed away on that little boat to heaven, and by some chance found a bottle in my face. And as I stood kindly passing round the bottle, but the passengers were bound to resist. For the people all said, sit down, you're on a heavenly trip. The people all said, beware, you're bound to scuttle the ship. For the devil will pull you under, by the strings he tied on your wicked throat. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. And as I laughed at those passengers to heaven, a great big wave came and washed me overboard. And as I sank and I hollered, someone save me, that's the moment I woke up. Thank the Lord. And I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. For the devil will pull you under, with a soul so heavy it never floats. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, you're rocking, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, you're rocking, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down.
Hope used to joke around with me that maybe we weren't trying to set up Hope and Bladen, because Bladen was always playing her dad. So Bladen was our papa in Beauty and the Beast, and then immediately after that he was Pulitzer, who is Catherine's father in that show. And then Bladen was going to be our lead in Mamma Mia, and I am so sad that you all didn't get to see him do that. That was right when the COVID shutdown happened, because he was doing an amazing job. So we're so glad that we were able to have all of you back with us. So it's been a real blessing to hear you and just laugh with you and applaud for you. Our final guest alumni is from 2003. So Sam was in school with me back in the day. So we were just reminiscing before the show started. He was in Fiddler on the Roof at the Triple Locks Theater. We were in that together as kids, as little children. and that we would always ride together on the way to Triple Ox and quote Monty Python, and I'm sure drive my dad and Mr. Martin and everyone crazy as we went. Sam was featured as this character, as the Jesus character, in the musical Godspell when he was in high school in 2003. He also, for Ridgewood, was currently in Oklahoma and in a number of other musicals, including current students. He was the Herald in Cinderella when we did it in 2000, so 21 years ago. Sam sang that part that you will then be hearing, which leads us into a good transition of we hope to see all of you in April. Our spring musical is Cinderella, and we cannot wait to bring you the magic and the mystery and the wonder and the love of Cinderella. So we're so excited to be doing that. You can put it on your calendars for April 8th, 9th, and 10th. This is going to be Sam Green, class of 2003, singing for you Beautiful City from the musical Godspell. final song on the program. So I would be remiss if I did not say a couple of thank yous as we're getting our many cast members up here on stage to sing our final song for you. Thank you very much to Meredith Evans, who is up there, Meredith Bach Evans up there, running the lights for us, and Hunter Gonter, who I asked to run lights run sound a couple days ago. So he did an awesome job for us. And Jeremiah Brown, who's videotaping for us. Poor Jeremiah's married into this, theater family. That's the way it goes. He's running the camera for us. We are so excited that we got to perform for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for your support and your applause and your financial donations. If you wanted to put if you didn't get to the basket on the way in and you want to put it on the way out, we do have a basket there on the way out. Thank you so much for being here. It's just been a joy for us all to sing together. I think it's been really wonderful. So thank you for being with us. Thank you to Mr. Maslowski and to Mr. Stouffer for having this amazing facility and for us being able to put on shows like this. So we can't wait to see all of you at our next show. Thank you so much for coming out. This is Seasons of Love from the musical Rent. Sam is going to lead everybody out into the cafeteria if you want to say hi and tell them what an amazing job they did. Thank you for being a wonderful audience, and we can't wait to see you at the next show.